Welcome to another edition of Chargers Unleashed. Jake Hefner and Dan Wolkenstein here with you from the LAFB Network. Today's show, of course, is being brought to you by BetOnline, AG1, Aura, Mint Mobile, and Rock Solid Sports Memorabilia. If this is your first time tuning into this show, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Dan Wolkenstein, it's Raider Week.
It's Raiders Week. The Raiders are coming to town.
The Raiders. You know what that usually means. And as a special addition to our weekly shows, again, Dan, we just need to get a T-shirt made for you that just simply says the words, "When Dan Wolkenstein works the phones, magical things happen." It's because that is what's in store today, as Dan Wolkenstein has once again worked the phones and has a very, very special guest coming into Chargers Unleashed once again. Dan Wolkenstein, the floor is yours, sir.
Shout out to the Alohi crew. Y'all are going to be happy. We got Alohi Gilman joining Chargers Unleashed today ahead of the Week 4 matchup versus the division rival Las Vegas Raiders. We'll talk about the upcoming matchup. We'll talk about his maturity and growth and development this year versus last and years past. We'll also talk about the defensive identity, what this Chargers defense can do to improve, as well as what he has done so far to absolutely light his hair on fire and ball out so far. All of that and more coming up on Chargers Unleashed, Jake. But before we get to that, let's hear about our friends over at Aura before we talk to the Alohi crew president himself in Alohi Gilman here on Chargers Unleashed.
Have you ever Googled yourself and were shocked to see your personal information exposed on one of those public listing sites? Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live.
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and brokers everywhere are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. So let Aura handle that for you. You can try Aura for up to 2 weeks using this link that we're going to put up here on the screen. Aura also does so much more to protect you and your family from online threats that you cannot see. So make sure to check out aura.com/Chargers Unleashed to get a 14-day free trial and see if your personal information has been leaked online.
Well, we've got a very special guest here on Chargers Unleashed. Shout out to the Alohi crew. You guys are going to be happy. We have Alohi Gilman here, your Los Angeles Chargers safety here on Chargers Unleashed. Alohi, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. Shout out to the Alohi crew.
Of course. I know Alohi crew's happy. See you back there at practice. Talk to us about the scene out there today leading up to Sunday versus the Raiders. What are you looking for from this team in terms of the defense on Sunday?
We're excited, man. You know, it's a division game, so, you know, it a little bit of extra hype, or I guess you can put around it. You know, Raiders coming into our home stadium, a lot of respect for them. They're a great team, great offense, and we got a good challenge cut out for us, but something that we're excited to do and to go and handle our business.
Now, it's only been 3 weeks, but the season already kind of feels like a roller coaster of emotions. Last-minute losses to Miami and Tennessee. Then you beat Minnesota at the end on the road. Lots of outside noise throughout. What have these last 3 weeks been like for you guys in the locker room? Like, what are the conversations that you and the coaches and the players have about, like, the adversity of 1 and 2?
Right. Man, you know, I think the big thing is just sticking to the process is something that we've kind of tried to adopt more on our day-to-day, believing in the process, believing in each other, and just being the same guy, being consistent in our preparation, and all the other things that we're focused on will clean itself up as we go throughout the season. I know it's a long season and it's a journey, and that's part of the NFL, man, those ups and downs, and you kind of you learn how to embrace it, you know, because we know we're not far off, so we're right there, and we're getting closer and closer to where we want to be.
Now, Alohi, your play has definitely carried over from last season when you got thrust into the starter position. Definitely as we go in, or as we just come off the game against Minnesota, you obviously had a big game. I don't care what the stat books say. You had 2 forced fumbles in that game, regardless of whatever it wants to be with a dead ball foul. That doesn't exist. You had 2 fumbles in that one. No question about it. But with you, what's been basically just the mindset change from you between coming in late last year and starting off this year next to Derwin, and just talk about just your overall development with your play this year?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been a journey. I think for me personally, I'm a guy who just cares about the details. I put intention into everything that I do. I'm big into that, and I think the day as I continue to my, this NFL process, I think it's only just gotten better. The more intentional I got, the more detailed I got into my craft, my work. Um, it just continued to grow and grow. So getting those opportunities, helped me in my development. And then another part is being confident in myself. I know, I guess I'm a under the radar guy. Not a lot of people probably knew who I was before that, but that's kind of been my story, my whole career. But I believe in myself, man. I believe in what I can do. I believe in my abilities, no matter of labels that are put on me or whatnot. And that's how I approach it. And so when I had my opportunity last year to come in and be a starter, I felt like I belonged out there, and I knew it and played like it. So I just only carried and just built into this year. And having that chemistry with Derwin and the rest of the guys just has been crucial for us as a team, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
And we've heard a lot about from this coaching staff in terms of starting fast, finishing on both sides of the ball. Last week against Minnesota, defense gave up some explosive plays and points, but started strong and finished strong on both sides of each half. And ultimately, you guys came out of there with a W. But, with the interception by Kenneth Murray at the very end there, as a player, is there a mindset or strategy shift between the start and end of games and maybe just in that middle portion in terms of, the talk on the side of the field between the defense and just keeping that mindset going for 60 minutes?
Right. It's something we definitely emphasize, that middle 8 portion of the game, and then the first 8 of the game, first 8 minutes, coming strong early in the beginning, and then that middle 8 of the game and half, beginning of the second half, is just hammering that. And Coach Staley's done a good job of purpose for that and putting that into our mind. So it's definitely a mindset, and that's something that we've built since training camp. It's a mindset that's been instilled by us, by Coach Staley and the staff. And shout out to them for doing that for us, because it really paid off. Especially in games like that where all those possessions matter, and the NFL is like that in general. But that's something that we definitely emphasize.
We got 2 more questions for you, Alohi. Through 3 weeks, statistically speaking, the offense has been balling out. Like, we've all seen what Justin and Kellen Moore and everybody's been doing. Points, efficiency, yards, all that. Statistically speaking, though, like, the defense hasn't started out great. Again, statistically speaking, whether it's passing yards or explosive plays. I know third down penalties has been like a real backbreaker. Like, so far for you guys, like, what's been the biggest area you feel the team can improve on, and how, like, tactically can you guys help with some of those early season struggles in those areas?
Yeah, like I said, the NFL journey, and sometimes there's some things that you have to go through to figure out the small ways in which we can improve our overall defense. And I think for us, I know there's a lot of stats and analytics and whatnot. You could take out the penalties and see where you're at and do this and that. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. But for us, is approaching it one game seasons, one small things, the small details we could tighten up on, and what can take our game to another level. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And I think I'm excited. I kind of like this situation. I'm used to that situation of being the underdog. The team may, we don't care too much or rank this or that. But, you want to peak in the right moments. And we're going to be peaking at the right moments when it's time to go. And I think I'm counting on that. So that's fine.
You had talked previously about building chemistry with Derwin, with JT Woods during camp. And now that we're in the thick of the regular season, take us into the locker room, because I want to know how that chemistry evolves and improves from a week-to-week basis, whether you guys come off of a victory against Minnesota or just back in the locker room against the loss, as far as just the camaraderie between your secondary with you guys in there. How does that chemistry continue to evolve?
Yeah, just like any working relationship, you have people that you may like and people you may not like. But in this business, we like each other pretty much. So it's a relationship, man. It's a relationship with the coaches, the staff, the players, of understanding how this person learns the best. What kind of communication does this person, pick up on, and small things like that. And that's a real process that people have to, you have to, think about as you go and playing these games in an NFL, a team sports. And that's something like, for example, like I had a lot of experience last year with Nasir. I had to shout out to my boy Nas. And, Derwin was out at some time during OTAs because of injuries and whatnot. And I was able to have that chemistry with him getting a lot of reps. And it paid off towards the end of the season because we were able to have a general chemistry with each other of understanding how we operate and being in tune with each other. So that's part of it. And that's something you got to love about it. At least I do, because it's a relationship business, and building these relationships is what makes being a part of the NFL fun.
Alohi Gilman, we're pumped to see how this team's defensive identity kind of takes form. And it's 1-game season for 17 games. We'll see where the dust lies at the end. Appreciate you joining us here on Chargers Unleashed. Best of luck, hopefully this week or the rest of the season. But we look forward to seeing you ball out in 2023.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Vic.
See ya.
Thanks, bud.